Good morning, y'all. I love seeing this giant propeller when I pull up to Captain Anderson's. This is a famous fishing spot here on the Gulf of Mexico. Awesome food and statues. What a legendary morning. Hopefully we catch a ton of fish, we find the megalodon, we see some mermaids, and we hunt down the Pensacola serpent. We're here at Captain Anderson's on this beautiful morning. I am so excited to hit the water with my peepaw, his neighbor, Dave Nippert, who was always an avid outdoorsman in my childhood, and then my mom. They went multiple years ago and it's fell through the past few, but we're here this morning and I am so excited. And the drive here was eventful as well. I drove past Southport, which had an encounter back in year 2000 near the power plant canal. Three fellas heard some loud screeching noises that says the strangest, weirdest sounds they ever heard. And I just spent a lot of time on Highway 98 as well. Hopefully we're gonna be really busy here when we get back. They clean your fish for you. Hopefully we max out. But on 98 in 1985, a family had a Sasquatch run right out of front of them. More towards Mexico Beach, but hey, 98. And the other way is 30A. And that's where they filmed The Truman Show, which talks about the dome and the program that sits all around us. I would love to work on any of these sport fishing boats. The Great Escape, First Cast Charters, Corey Freed, Lady B, Captain Mike, Davy Jones Charters. Oh man, I love living on the water. This is definitely a dream come true, coming from Ohio, getting to be surrounded by the salt water. Captain Scuba 2, the Reef Runner, Island Diver, and this goes into the lighthouse. The Grand Marlin. Awesome restaurants. You can see my reflection and my big smile because I am excited. But look at the name of this pirate ship, y'all. The Sea Dragon. And that is what we are after today. The Pensacola Serpent. A very sad incident that happened more than 50 years ago that left 4 people dead. One survivor that told the horrifying tale. Oh man. But first, before we get to deep water, we are going to drive past Shell Island, where in 2015 there was a Sasquatch encounter. Not many people would expect it, so close to the salt water and where the tourists love. But when you have 7 miles of wilderness near a state park, oh man, stay tuned. It looks like they're letting people on the boat, so the time is now. I am super excited. Look at this awesome art. Enjoy Art by Sarah. Good stuff. Great stuff. Really cool shipwrecks just off the coast of St. Andrews State Park. I would love to have a little houseboat right there. What an amazing area. We're gonna fish at a lot of these shipwrecks. How magnificent. A jet just flew above our head. A true ice flyer. It brings me back home to the Blue Angels, man. It's another sign that I'm exactly where I need to be. I'm standing on top deck right now with the bird's eye view on Shell Island. Because in 2015, a man had an encounter with a skunk ape in that 7-mile wilderness preserve. He was with his family and wandered off alone. Oh, some dolphins right there up front. Wow. There we go, there they are. What an amazing morning. But behind the dolphins at Shell Island, a man heard a weird, strange shriek, and he pursued it. There's a jet flying above, training. Wow. The man in 2015 pursued the strange sound and then saw a huge brown creature rummaging through the forest. He turned around as quick as he came. Definitely a strange spot for a Sasquatch sighting. But yes, it is very dense terrain when you get off of the beach. It'd be a perfect location for the Cabbage Man to hide out. And their supersonic tendencies would call out using echolocating to these dolphins. And I'm sure they could even sense these jets. But I always keep an eye out in these early mornings for the Ancient One of Shell Island. We're riding out to the fishing spot, so I brought some goodies to manifest some good things. They filmed Jaws 2 right here in this area, so hopefully we can manifest some great white sharks. I also brought my lucky $2 bill and some shark teeth. And the beast and the alpha. I watched this last night trying to manifest the megalodon. The Pensacola Serpent looks something like Gyarados. I brought my Water Aura MetaZoo card. And a bunch.
Or did you send a video? That's a video, huh? Yeah, you sent kind of a little video too. Is it cool?
And some reading material for when we get out there. Erie Swamps. The Panhandle Pirates. Talks all about finding treasure, battling cryptids. Brought Gemma J, the Fae Theory, because sirens and the mermaids try to bring us closer. And of course, Godzilla. The newest Godzilla movie talks about Pensacola being the apex. Brought Pirate Radio because it's a ship that breaks the rules. Shutter Island, hopefully don't end up there. And Pacific Rim. See if any kaiju creatures may reveal themselves. Good old son of good Godzilla. Maybe we'll see a mermaid. Oh man, it looked like it caught you. Oh, that's crazy. 100 proofs, and there will be lots. Just like how water finds its level, and how we will still be able to zoom in on the buildings, even when we're far beyond the curvature. In the movie I'm in, Zillafoot, better beware of the creature coming from the lagoon. And a really cool book about treasure hunting and a shark that protects it. A Sword for Pizarro. It's based down here in Florida too. Really, really cool. What a legendary morning. I'm super excited to get at it. Let's get it. While we're out here at the open sea, we gotta keep our eyes peeled. Big shark fins, mermaid flashes, possibly some UFOs or USOs, unidentified submerged objects. Bait, no catch. You gotta always check. Ha ha ha. Look at this guy. There you go. We're in the books.
He's short, he's going back. Living alright, bass cap?
Oh yeah. Thanks, brother.
We use it for bait?
Yeah, use it for bait now. First cast. Love to see it. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Come on. Trying to manifest big fish. Keepers. Dinner. Can already taste that Dano seasoning. It's good without seasoning. Oh yeah. Oh, it's not a snag. It's not a snag, it's a good one. Here we go. Oh yeah. We got one. Got him. That's a good one.
Oh,
Beeliner. They're so close. Got through. Look at that.
Jump so I can hug you. Doing circles around the boat. They're such show-offs, but they're adorable.
It's like 8 of them. They're out there, the dolphins. Dang, a whole pod of them. It's so crazy. Right under. Got one.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
I got a rock bass, Skip.
Rock bass.
That's just not good enough. Let's try to make
Oh yeah, baby.
I'm even out there kissing the dog.
A little bit. Not much though. Oh yeah. The rock bass and a pod of dolphins. Out of the whole boat, right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Those dolphins, man. They could lead us to the treasure out here. 59 years ago today, March 18th, 1962. 2 miles off the coast of Pensacola, Florida, 5 boys attempted to dive the shipwreck of the USS Massachusetts, a ship that had been scuttled by the US Navy. Suddenly, the weather deteriorated. The boys tried to lash their raft to a nearby buoy so they wouldn't be swept out to sea. When the waters finally started to calm, the sun began to set. Just then, a thick fog rolled in with it. Something else, something monstrous. By the end of the day, only one boy would tell the story. The press would report that others suffered hypothermia and most likely drowned. However, Edward Brian McCleary, the only survivor, would claim his friends had been viciously killed by a sea serpent. Woo!
I got you.
Yeah, the squirrelfish, man. Nice catch, nice catch. You're in the books. Now we gotta get these 3 in the books. So they just saw a shark here. Oh yeah, that's a dolphin. Yeah. Dolphin right under us. That's so cool. myself if I missed a shark right in front of me. That is so cool. Almost in reaching distance. Let's see if they want to eat. Yeah. I like it. Yes. Yeah, Dave.
It's on!
It's got pretty blue in it too.
Uh-huh.
Dang, look at that. That's awesome. Nice catch. Yeah. Oh, you beat the porpoises to it.
Yeah.
Look, I got one too.
That was a keeper.
Yes.
This one is short.
That's bait.
But right now we can't use these. They gotta be 8 inches.
Gotcha,
The
gotcha.
size coming on.
He'll have a nice life. Take it easy, buddy.
Now that one's a keeper.
All right.
That one won't put right
Yes.
in that bucket.
Dave's on a roll. Yes. Yeah. He came from the depths.
How is clear, Jim? Oh my God.
Really cool how the dolphins swim right in front of the boat, almost at arm's reach. Like they could probably reach me if they really wanted to. Dolphins. Smartest things on earth. Look into dolphin births. That's the natural way. Another one.
Yeah, a big whopping one.
Oh yeah.
All right.
We eating tonight. Catching up now. Peeps got one? Nice. Alright, we need a big one. Triggerfish would be nice. But also some of them as well. There's a lot of strange stuff in the Gulf of Mexico. There have been reports of underwater pyramids, even discovery of the firmament, the dome, entrances into Middle Earth. Oh, two of them. Double. Got a double. Now let's see what I got. Nice catches though.
Yeah, brother.
I got one too.
Oh, same one?
We'll see, we'll see. Yep.
Oh my god, this is a rope plate, huh?
This is the triggerfish spot, guys. Yes. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, hopefully.
That's a dinner plate right there.
I don't know, I've seen him big as that.
Yeah, I think he looks a little too small.
Oh yeah, he's gotta go back. You don't let him go?
No, you can toss him in. Yes. Oh. She got one?
Yeah.
Nice. My mom's got one. Bending over. Got a reel.
Come on, Michelle. Hold on. Let's tighten this grab. Tighten this grab. There you go. Talk about it.
Put something into it, Michelle.
Dad. I still got movement. He's still coming. I got something good coming over here. Up.
Don't tell me he got off.
Nope, he just did. Dolphin got it.
Yep. Dolphin got it?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Alright, I guess the rest of the short triggerfish. Let's try the next one.
Damn.
I wanted to see it.
Me too.
Whoa. The dolphin! Yep, that's what I do. Look like something here, I see.
Gotcha! He's right there. Dolphin took my snap. Yeah.
They got dolphin! Yeah, I know. They got dolphin! Shoot!
Searching for dolphins. big fins and the edge of the earth. But really looking at these dolphins close up is amazing. See them right there. Flat as glass, all the way to the Yucatan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Triggerfish.
Look, the size of him compared to him.
I like it, I like it.
Yeah, hey, you wanna know what he's also second at? Frisbee.
Frisbee, yeah.
Throw triggers, yeah.
Trying to send energy to these amazing beings. Thank you. You see them turn right there? The amount of information in their brain and consciousness is truly magical. Good day over here for you?
Not too bad, not too bad. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of triggerfish at the end too.
Oh, yeah.
Got us going. Dolphin on the side of us doing some big jumps and leaps. I feel like Tony Hawk or Eric Costin. Do a kickflip. There we go.
Otherwise clear, over.
Fish on!
Fish on! Fish on! Fish on! Fish on!
Let's get it!
Yeah, Dave.
Yeah!
Give you that
Let
lip
him
shot.
have that little bit.
Little lip shot.
Aw. Beautiful, beautiful houses. True paradise. Some fishy fishes. What's up, guys? We are passing Bear Creek, the location of a Sasquatch sighting back in the 70s. A couple kids were camping out less than a half mile from here. One kid was going home early and they were teasing him, shining the flashlight, and sure enough, a huge gray colored being flashed in the light. My mom and I came down here on the other side and made a video back in the day. Very cool to come check out the tunnels and the location of the Bear Creek Beast, a gray Sasquatch, kind of like the Rocky Creek Rod Bender. Very, very cool. Good morning, y'all. Hope you guys having a magical day. I'm going to read a chapter out of my book, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner. It is going to be about the Ohio River monsters. Powhatan Point, Ohio. The Ohio Valley region is full of many mysteries and monsters. Excavations have uncovered giant skeletons, mammoth bones, and piles of hidden treasure. Haunted prisons and abandoned homes raised the area. Giant catfish and the green-clawed beast patrol the waters while the Mothman navigates the sky. In the late 60s, many locals encountered the Birdman. Witnesses claim they've seen a creature with 12-foot wingspan and giant red eyes. The phenomenon swept the valley and the Mothman fever was spreading. Many claimed the animal was a thunderbird, a pterodactyl that survived the Ice Age. Others claimed it was a screeching owl and a very bad omen for the town. Tragically, in Point Pleasant, the Silver Bridge collapsed and many people died. Some townspeople blamed the winged beast, while others claimed that he was trying to warn them. After the accident, many people labeled the creature as a demon. The Devil's Crossroads and Valley curse theories gained traction after the grieving locals searched for any explanation of why all this was happening. I believe the creature was flesh and blood. There have been sightings of similar creatures all around the world. The Garuda is very popular in Indian culture. The Mothman could have been a dragon or a gargoyle breed creature. The descriptions remind me of the monster in Jeepers Creepers and Darkness Falls. If this creature exists, they are surely masters of their environment. They would be able to manipulate vibration and sound. The animal would most likely have the eyes of an eagle and sonar ability like bats. There have been many able to use infrasound and even telepathy. The Mothman Prophecies movie and book both painted interesting pictures of phenomenon that took place in Point Pleasant. We grew up hunting and fishing along the Ohio River. There was a road and a creek called Cat's Run that would follow to the river. We used to visit my grandpa's best friend Denzel and hit the local junkyard for parts all the time. There were plenty of deer, coyotes, and running dogs. It was a narrow, bumpy ride. Sometimes it would get flooded out, and others, boulders, would landslide down and block the road. It was dangerous but secluded. I used to drive the car down there when I was 11. My dad's best friend from 3 hours away has family on this little run. Crazy how everything's connected. Peepaw would set up mini traps, and we would stop by and fill up the bait on our way down. Sometimes there were snakes that would get up in the cage and eat all the minnows. They'd drown, but it was still startling when you lifted the cage out and saw a large serpent head. Peepaw would always make me get deep in the fishing holes. I always hop back and scan the region with my eyes wide. The bigger ones couldn't even fit in those traps. There were some of our favorite swimming holes too. I found some awesome fossils of leaves down there. The rock is about a foot long. It was surreal finding it. Didn't look real as I peered through the water. I picked it up and couldn't believe my eyes. Just like the time we watched an ostrich trample through the woods above us. They escaped from a local farm and had a kill order on their heads. They were very aggressive. Cat's Run was crazy. But one morning, after getting our minnows down Cat's Run, we were fishing near the mouth of the river. In the creek were some steep cliffs and untouched water. It was hard to reach, but pristine territory if you were able to fish it. My grandpa loaded up the equipment while I ran past my mom and climbed over a ledge. I scanned for fish in the distance. I saw two giants with their backs out of the water. They were green colored and had spikes coming from them. I pointed and called out. At first glance, I thought they were big catfish, but it didn't just add up. They were much bigger than me. I know the big cats have strange fins, but these looked more lizard-like. I watched the strange shadows swim off back into the creek. This was some kind of serpent. It could have been a large horned snake or a pair of them. Part of me wanted to say it was a crocodile or an alligator, but I knew there weren't really in these waters. It truly reminded me of the creature from the Black Lagoon. The location and even Gillman creature were so similar. Peepaw and my mom definitely sensed something strange in the air, but sadly never got a visual. I saw them arch out of the water like a dolphin swimming. There have been reports of a father and son seeing a mantis-like creature covered in slime while fishing the river. In Kentucky, a lady got pulled underwater and scratched by the green-clawed beast. She had a green stain on her leg for weeks. Some people connected it to the Loveland frogmen, or even aliens. In the 1800s, they hunted a giant snake in the Cincinnati Valley. They found one that was 24 feet long. There are also many legends of Wendigo of the river, a translucent biped with no nose, sharp teeth and piercing eyes that climbs into trees. There are more than 10 different monsters of towns along the river. I've also heard of reports of catfish the size of Volkswagen Beagles that hang out by the coal barges, bull shark, paddlefish, and giant eel. The contaminated water holds many secrets. Bigfoot and UFO encounters are prominent in the valley. Tunnels to Middle Earth are rumored to be nearby. The weight of these secrets might be heavier than we understand. Moundsville Prison and burial mounds of giants are along the curvy water for a reason. I'm not sure what species I spotted that morning, but it surely fueled my spirit for fishing and hunting the unknown. The riverbank has changed shape and terrain over the years, but the creatures would have to go somewhere. I hope they are able to find a deep den somewhere in the woods where they wouldn't be bothered. I'm sure some other fishermen in Cat's Run have spotted the same beast. The family tree would have to be pretty large by now. Well, I hope so. But yeah, that's out of my book, Monsters and Mysteries Around the Corner, the Ohio River, where all of us that were on the deep sea trip got to fish back in the day. And I also want to add in that Lake Powell down here in the Panhandle also has a sea creature, and that leaks right into the bay in the Gulf, and that there was many other serpent sightings at the Mississippi mouth in the Gulf. I guess in the 1800s, they said that there was a whole fleet of these serpent-like creatures that were longer than 30 feet long, and they was spotted and witnessed by dozens of people on ships. So very cool. I hope all you guys continue the magic and make someone's day today. Take it easy, y'all. Seems somebody is missing a cozy comfort slipper. There was a crazy storm last night, so I figured I would come check these muddy trails to look for some giant footprints. I'm also checking out these swamps after I heard of some recent encounters of some shrieks in the night. The Japola River is known as the Sweetwater River and has tons of caves on the banks. I am nearby the Ovens Caves, which are pretty famous online. So I started doing some research on all the strange named locations in the area, and man, I was surprised. I saw the Devil's Clay Hole, the Devil's Swamp, the Devil's Branch, the Devil's Garden, the Devil's Den Springs, the Devil's Hole, the Devil's Elbow, the Devil's Playground, Rooted Devil, Devil's Circle, and that's just in this 45-mile vicinity. What else lurks in these sinister swamps? Under the depths of that water, there are many fossils and other mysteries. They filmed Sharkensaw Woman's Prison Massacre and Cobra Gator there. Girls broke out of a Arkansas prison and then fled to the swamps. And they didn't have to worry about deer. There was a creature that could go from water to land that hunted them down. The Cobra Gator was like a Nessie type creature, a plesiosaur, kind of like the Lake Powell monster or even the Pensacola Serpent, who I've been after as of recent. But you can feel the rumbling beneath your feet, because there are caves that go all the way down to the aquifer. We have casted some footprints in this area, down in caves, and even right on the path. Just heard a big splash over here. It's really cool how there's a little island of cypress. There's some cracks and creeks across the river as well. One of my more scarier nights out in the swamp happened in this region. We walked on the railroad for about 3 miles in the middle of the night to go in this cave. And man, I was carrying a railroad spike for protection the whole entire time. This looks like a perfect place where animals and beasts alike would climb down to look for crayfish and get some water. So I'm looking for some slides, indentations, anything that kind of screams anomaly. Where there are deer and rabbit and hog, you can best believe the cabbage man, the skunk ape, and probably the dog man. Close. All this fungus is another perfect edible for these creatures. There's a cool little tea. Nature will surprise you once in a while. If you open up your eyes and slow down, it'll happen more often than not. There are a lot of famous skunk ape encounters in this area. Donnie Miller encountered the caveman right off of Highway 73 after he was pig hunting on a farm for an extended amount of time. And even a couple of his fellow co-workers had encounters with this beast, but everybody remained silent. Here's some really very fresh poop. This looks like it's from this morning. There's not much hair in there compared to normal coyote feces. Very, very interesting. Yes, it's still very soft and very strong smell. Interesting. There are large hog, boar, coyote, panther, bobcat, and even bear in the area. So you definitely have to keep your head on a swivel. But again, the apex predator out here, the rod bender, the stump jumper, the skunk ape, would have no problem with all those creatures. Looks like there's a cave through this thicket. Very cool. A nice water hole. There's tons of pits and sinkholes and caverns in this area. You definitely have to watch out, or it could be your final step. There's a lot of game trails out here. Some bends and arches, pathways underneath. It is a really, really cool spot. That one there has the potential to be a pretty big foot. It's a lot bigger than my boot. And it even has a cool little indentation. You really never know what you're gonna come across out here in the Florida swamps. Gotta keep your head on a swivel. but even sometimes just the mosquitoes and the fire ants can creep up on you. It's very magical out here in the Florida swamps. We are not far from where the Ocheesee Pond wild man was captured in 1874. He was sent to the Capitol in Tallahassee, and the governor and said, "Oh, no way." Sent him to Chattahoochee Hospital. So they locked him up in an insane asylum for 3 years, experimenting on him. And he said he passed away, and they buried him with a bunch of other Native Americans. Right across the river is Torreya State Park, where Stacy Brown filmed the skunk ape with his father. It's the best civilian thermal images. Bobo and Cliff came to town and recreated it on Finding Bigfoot. These muddy areas are perfect for a print. Definitely got to keep your eyes peeled for any anomaly. Make sure to check barbed wire fence for hair. Isaac and Francis Stone, thank you. You definitely got to keep your eyes peeled for large venomous snakes. This is the water moccasin mecca. Cottonmouth, copperhead, eastern diamondback, timber rattlesnake, which is also known as canebrake, and then a pygmy rattlesnake. And a pygmy, they strike really fast, about 4 or 5 times in a second. Nice little swamp over here. Keeping my eyes peeled for any kind of anomaly. But we are gonna leave some pepperoni and cheese out here for this creature. We're gonna come back in the morning and see if it's still here. Hopefully this bait will bring in the beast. And then we'll be able to cast a footprint in this mud, or maybe see some damage on more of this wood. The Rocky Creek rod bender has been seen toward this area, and that is a 12-foot tall gray creature with reports of it being like a giant sloth. Then I talked to another man that called it a werewolf. It turned from 7 feet to 30 feet taller than the treetops. So I'd say skinwalker at that point. Definitely a strange entity. Over near Chipley and Graceville, Hidden Relief is dealing with house elves, insectoids, and even a cave bear. The short-faced bear. The hog-nosed bear. One of the more interesting extinct creatures I've read about resurfacing. I remember seeing giant Alaskan bears taller than 20 feet tall on some TV episodes, but for one to be this close to home, wowzers. The Florida caverns have been uncovering more and more labyrinths underneath our feet. The aquifer has been mentioning Godzilla vs. Kong, Prometheus, a lot of other sci-fi movies. They will always tell you, follow the why and look for tree breaks. There are large alligator in this area. The Chipola River is home to some monsters. Sometimes they will crawl into the nearby swamp, and one bull will take over 150 acres. It's pretty interesting. It's an interesting shape. Doesn't look natural to me. There are stories of fairies, pixies, gremlins, Sprite, Brownie, Detroit Reds, gnomes, and other troll beings in the enchanted forests. The Coheely Creek Goatman and Huggin' Molly are a little up north, but I'd be not surprised if we saw their descendants. Adam Vinatieri, right down the middle, Phil Dawson style. Finding a lot of teas. Oh, that was a deep puddle. forest language definitely speaks to you when you take your time to listen. If you could see heat signatures or energy. It's always strange when I'm just hiking. In the middle of my video, it'll say repairing file. I start to wonder if it got zapped or some kind of other frequency is trying to push through, like Vast of the Night or War of the Worlds. We can all be beacons. A lot of people say when I speak that I channel something. It's interesting to think. I think we all pull from source energy. Nothing is ours, but everything is as well. It's a beautiful conundrum that we fall into. These creatures use infrasound, echolocating, like bats and dolphins. Also, types of camouflage, like the predator, like other monkeys, like octopus. Nowadays, they have hunting blinds that look totally invisible. It is amazing, the possibilities that are out there when you really tap in to who you are. Coming from Ohio, surviving the winters, looking for the grass man, the Brunswick Blue Devil, the Minerva monster. I had visions of hunting down the skunk ape and swimming with alligators and fishing for shark. And I went after it. And it's paid me back tenfold. But the road is tough. And you have to make sacrifices. But it's all worth it when you figure it out. Can smell the pines right here. That reminds me of the Buckeye State. Wow, it's amazing when the sap hardens. Best believe the cabbage man is eating that sap. The ash man, sand man, the big bear beast. They're all in different locations, but they use their environment and adapt. And that's what makes them an earthling. They might be extraterrestrials from the other lands, but their soul still under the dome, still like us. Nice size hole. the possum, groundhog, beaver, raccoon, even porcupine would share the forest with the apex. This tree looks like it should be in a movie. I've seen some famous trees in my life. The wishing tree from The Princess and the Frog in Honey Island Swamp. The Ocheesee Pond tree. I've seen many California trees. White Widow, OG Kush, Banana Blitz, Blueberry Haze. But that tree, that's up there. That bird was like cackling. And I thought it was a bird, but then just kept on going. Right over there. Like he's just laughing to himself, having a jolly time. I'm in the name of the great creator. I love the one who died for all. I know of Grisha, Dargon, Owlman. I'm sorry about what my people did to Patty and your kind. I just want to build the bridge stronger for some understanding. We are all from the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve are giants. Now I feel like your image might be closer to the Creator than mine. I appreciate y'all. It's cool seeing how there's holes dug into the bank. And as you guys know, the pineal gland, our third eye, is the shape of a pine cone. It follows the Fibonacci spiral, golden ratio, God's fingerprint. It matches seashells, galaxies, brain waves, mixed with some mushroom fungus. Special combination. What's going on, y'all? We are doing another type of fishing right now, looking for treasure or maybe some murder weapons. Super excited to see what's at the bottom of this river. Let's see what we got. Hey, hey, we got something. It's a nail. That's awesome. We got a guy on a four-wheeler over there. Pretty cool. I really hope we find some bullets, maybe some weapons, but another nail. Hey, cleaning up the river, one nail at a time. I like it. There have been rhinoceros skulls found right in this river. I don't think my magnet will pick that up unless he had titanium surgery. Nothing that time. Let's try under the bridge, which will be kind of weird. One interesting story. If you find a bottle under a bridge or on top of a bridge and you blow in it, you could summon the empty man. It's really bad things from there. Pretty much everybody that touches you becomes empty. Huh. Another small piece of nail. One of these times we're gonna find a pistol and we're gonna have to call the police. And hopefully it helps get some answers. Got something this time. I could feel it. I can already now tell the difference a little bit. Look at that. Not sure what that is. An old piece of metal. This one is a sharp nail. And this one is a nail. It'd be cool to find a meteorite. Let's go a little higher up. Oh yeah. Haha. I am so excited. The wolf snot has finally arrived. Thank you, Sean in the Pack. Through AAP contest, Thank you so much for sending that, bro. It is delicious. My mom and my neighbor approve as well. I think it's awesome that it's wolf snot. It's up there with the dog man, the habe, the wolf man, even the rougarou, the lycanthrope. Tastes delicious. Jalapeno and serrano. Sean the Pack. He has awesome lives that he does with his family as well. Bunch of challenges. Definitely check him out. AAP, American Armed Patriot. Thanks for keeping running those contests. Something to look forward to in the afternoon. Thanks, man.
Flesh of the unguided and non-believers fuel this void.
Hey Connor, we found Bigfoot. His taxidermy head. They said this is actually a deer's butt. You can see the tail that runs down, and then they just put a face into it. It's pretty cool.